Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to give a single piece of advice that will help anybody and everybody out there that feels like they are stuck in a rut in their job. Because I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I continue to see it even in my own environment. This is a career killer. When you are hired to do a job, you are given certain responsibilities, and there's a certain level of expectation for what you should do with those responsibilities. One is managing your time effectively for the benefit of your role, responsibility, your job function. And we have now become generationally attached to these things, right? Like anybody and everybody, can get a hold of us at any given time. We're tracking multiple social networks. We're doing all these things. But here's the thing, unless your role involves and specifically calls out the use of this bad boy, you are likely compromising your ability to be successful at your company because you and other people are, in essence, stealing time from your organization. My good friend Mara Neville Thomas talks about the distractions that occur at work and how much getting a text message or an unnecessary phone call or even just jumping on a social network for a little bit of indulgence compromises your ability to refocus, get back to a productivity state, and be effective for the role that you're being paid to be doing, right? And yet I see it over and over and over again. And I'm not complaining. This is the generation that we are on. But however, every distraction that you create is affecting how people perceive you and the performance that you are giving. And if I could give young people any advice, put that sucker on silent. If you have someone that is like, important person, your significant other, a parent, your kid's school, put that stuff on emergency contact, because what'll happen is if they really need to get a hold of you, it will let you know. Problem with it is, at least on the iPhone, if they text you, it also lets you know that. And if they're texting you over a bunch of nonsense, then you're going to have a conversation and say, hey, you got to stop that. You got to knock that out because I need to be focused from whatever time I hit the door at work to the time I leave. After that, feel free to reach out to me. But if it's not pressing, can you please hold that? Everybody else just gets ignored, right? And the best way to do this is put this sucker on silent, put it into one of your modes. I don't know how Androids work, but Apple's got a number of different things that you can put. I don't know if you can see these, but do not disturb, personal, work, sleep, writing for one of me. You can add your own, but essentially put one for, I'm getting paid by somebody else to not be on that thing. Unless your job responsibility specifically says, hey, Steve-O, feel free to use your cell phone because we want you tracking our social crap going on out there in the world. We want to hear people or what they're saying about us or our brand. Then probably okay, right? But really at the end of the day, probably not. They're giving you tools to track and monitor that stuff. You don't need to be on your personal cell phone. I know it seems like such an insignificant thing, but you would not believe how impactful it is to how people look at you, how reliable people perceive you, specifically your coworkers and your manager, and why it may be compromising your success. I know. Don't shoot the messenger, my friends. I'm just trying to create a positive ripple here. Put that sucker on silent. Don't check it. I know it feels like even right now, it's like the force is pulling me towards this phone. Check it. See what people are saying about you. Tweet something. Instagram a pic. Don't do it, my friends. Don't do it. Put that sucker away. Focus on what you're being paid to do, or go find a job that has something to do with cell phone engagement and activity that has, likely some no concerns whether you're on your phone or not. But I've yet to find that for any job, unless you're in social media and you're married to that device. And even then, they want you focused on their stuff, not your stuff. So just a little bit of advice that I hope that you will take to heart. And I'm curious about your comments. Leave some. Tell me, Steve, you're wrong. This is BS. This is communism. You can't do this. This is a God-given right. Yeah. Show is not working for that company anymore. And you don't want that to be the decision somebody else makes for you. Until next time, my friends, ripple on. Report.